Let's start today by talking about travel. Have you traveled a lot by plane?
Yes, actually, I have done quite a bit of traveling by plane. I have visited a lot of countries in my lifetime, sometimes for my family's work, sometimes just for vacation, and usually we go to pretty far distances. So for a lot of that, we do use plane travel, and I really enjoy it. It feels very liberating, it feels very explorative. I can go to a vast variety of places by using air travel. So yeah, in my experiences, I have done a lot of traveling by plane for a lot of different reasons.
So, why do you think that you or some people enjoy traveling by plane?
Um, well, traveling by plane, like I said, it's just a really freeing and versatile experience. Me personally, I enjoy the flights themselves. I can look across the ground below, I can look through the window, I can see just miles upon miles of earth being covered in a span of minutes or hours. And I understand a lot of people probably enjoy the feeling of being able to travel such far distances, although there are some people who face maybe sickness or fears. But overall, I'm sure everybody can agree in the enjoyment of being able to visit the vast varieties of places all across the world and explore every corner of the earth.
Would you like to live near an airport?
Well, as much as I enjoy traveling, I think I would probably detest living near an airport because it's just so unbearably loud. There's planes coming in, and because we live in so many different time zones, there's probably planes always moving, and the airport is always loud because there's people from all over the world. So living next to an airport, I would have to go through that all the time, and I personally are not really a fan of really loud environments. So even though I really love traveling and it might make it convenient for me to get to like my flights, it would not be a great place for me to live.
Do you have to travel a lot for your job or studies?
Well, not particularly. I'm currently a student, so I'm still studying, and all of my studies are near where I live, and it's basically all just in the same area, within the same vicinity, in the same region. So I don't have to travel a lot, and most of my travels usually come with like family events or vacations, especially, for example, when my family went to visit Sweden, and it was really fun, or when we had to plan trips maybe to Spain. And those were all, again, just leisurely activities, but they were never associated with what I was working or studying. So, yeah, as a student, basically working in my region, I can stay pretty close to home.
So, are there any places that you wish to visit then?
Of course, though, there's just so many like incredibly unique areas to explore with the access that air flight travel gives. So I really wish in the future that I could go traveling to some of the most like spoken about or enjoyed destinations. I mean, at least once in my lifetime, maybe on my bucket list, I want to go view the incredible sights of Paris and see the Eiffel Tower and even be able to learn new languages. So, like I said, I want to explore like lots of different places, but I'm definitely more attracted to the areas with huge tourist destinations where I can see the world's wonders.
Wonderful, you did great. Now I'm going to give you a topic that you'll talk about for 1 to 2 minutes. You will have 1 minute to prepare and you can make some notes to help you. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. A person from my country, I could probably think of who has won a prize or award or medal is definitely gonna be Muhammad Salah. I mean, I come from Egypt, and he's, I mean, incredibly well known there. He's a very famous professional football player. He's well known for his accomplishments, and so the prize he's gotten a lot of different prizes, I believe. Although I'm not personally very caught up with the whole football culture myself, but probably maybe a really prestigious prize he's gotten could be the Premier League Cup or the and maybe another one like the Golden Boot. But of course, there's been a lot. But I think awards like the Premier League Cup could be one of the most recognized awards that he's received in his career, and I I think it's just essentially a lifelong career he's had of being a professional footballer, and he's not only recognized where I come from, but like globally as well. So it makes sense that he's been recognized through a lot of these awards and medals and prizes, and he's like a big talk amongst people, like a huge trend almost. You could talk about Mohamed Salah and hop on the bandwagon about football and football chatting. So known like not only in Egypt but plenty of places outside Egypt. And again, I'm not like really invested with football, even though it's like a huge theme where I come from. It's a huge topic of discussion, and tons of people really are invested in this sort of entertainment and this field of sports. I do know that he brings like very impressive talent to his career and to what he does. He's recognized for excelling, especially among like in comparison to other people. So I mean, to deserve these prizes, I'm sure he like, of course, did really well in games, like scored lots of goals. I'm sure. Maybe he was just a great team player, super collaborative, so works really well, of course, because football is a team sport, and you would probably get recognition in that kind of field for being able to excel in factors like that. So since I'm sure he brings super high statistics, although I'm not super aware of them. I'm glad then that he's actually recognized that for them. And I'm sure that obviously because he's done so well and he's put in what I can only assume is hours and dedicated work and skill and training, he's been recognized for what he's done. So it's pretty deserving, in my opinion, I'd say, that he's received all this recognition and received these prizes because he's put in so much work in his career and what he does.
Nice. Now, on the topic of prizes, can you tell me, do you think that some sports people, like footballers, are paid too much?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I definitely would say that sports people especially are paid way more than what is necessary to be, paying an employee. I mean, like I said, they put a lot of hard work, they put a lot of effort, but then again, it's an entertainment industry, and I'm not super involved with like sports culture. I'm not really into athletics, but I do know that they earn like huge, huge sums of money. So, I mean, when you put it into perspective, you can compare that to how much a medical professional gains. And I just think personally that being able to earn around that amount or even more than amount working in just a large entertainment industry is a little bit of a low blow to careers around the world. I don't think it's really necessary for us to be investing so much time and money, like piles of money into people who are able to entertain in such lavish ways. So yeah, I do think they're a bit overpaid.
Do you think that everyone on the team should get the same prize money when they win?
Well, in sports teams, it is like super centered around collaboration and what players can do together. So I would agree, yeah, that everybody should be getting the same prize money, especially because if it was really measured by contribution and skill points, then there would be like undeniable amounts of disparities and discrepancies between people's opinions. There would be too much conflict, and all of that is just unnecessary, especially when you factor in the fact that all of like team sports are reliant on collaboration. So all of these players have been trained to work with each other. So it's definitely fitting that they're all paid the same amount. It makes the process easier, and I think people are really content with that solution. So it wouldn't be necessary to change any of that.
So, how about a different demographic? What types of school prizes do children in your country receive?
Yeah, well, obviously, like I said, I'm from Egypt, so students participate in a lot of their own competitions and they get prizes sometimes like little paper certificates or little medals to recognize what they've done, maybe in class or just for school competitions or taking place in a lot of extracurricular competitions. Sometimes that prize involves monetary, financial benefits when it comes to being recognized. So I mean, me personally, when I was a little younger, maybe in elementary schooling, I did a lot of competitive extracurriculars, and I did a lot of competitions in school, or I found myself getting recognized. And usually, yeah, the prizes were things like certificates or medals, or sometimes they had like money, which is pretty rewarding.
So, what do you think are the advantages of rewarding school children for good work?
Um, I think it's very like motivating, and it brings a lot of commitment to students and to school children because they can see something at the end of their path, and they can feel driven to try and achieve something. And especially when they're put in a competition with lots of others, they tend to feel that sort of competitive nature, so students are really pushed to their limits and they push themselves to their limits as well because they're driven like even from my perspective when I did it I could remember feeling, oh, I really need to get this, I need to get the certificate, I gotta win this award. So the benefit is essentially that students have more drive, they have more motivation to get what's done, even though sometimes, like being in school, it's super boring. You have to study, you have to do these all these maybe uninteresting subjects for a lot of kids. But when you're put in like a competitive environment, you feel more motivation towards achieving your goal. So it's very helpful in that case.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a Band 8.5 reply. The answer is coherent and well elaborated on, with the candidate developing ideas clearly and linking them smoothly. The sentence structure is solid and varied, showing control over both complex and compound forms, which contributes to a strong sense of fluency. The vocabulary is sophisticated, with precise word choices that demonstrate range and flexibility. However, answers in Part 1 of the IELTS speaking test are generally expected to be shorter and more directly focused, reflecting a natural conversational exchange. In this response, the speaker tends to expand a little too much, which makes the answer feel slightly rehearsed. Despite this, the overall performance remains very strong. The speaker is fluent, communicates ideas with clarity, and uses language confidently, which justifies the high Band 8.5 score.